What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Combat Corporation, your source of combat sports. I'm your host, Al the Postmaster Morrow, and today I have a gear review on the Sanabul Core Series MMA sparring gloves. Alright folks, as always, I'm incredibly excited to bring you yet another gear review, as today I have the Sanabul Core Series MMA sparring gloves. And I'm excited to do this review because this is a continuation of the Sanabul mini marathon that I've been doing for the last few videos. Basically, if you haven't watched those videos, I'm doing a mini marathon of Sanabul products because I unboxed the entire lineup of Sanabul MMA sparring gloves about 7 months ago. I got all their stuff on sale on the Amazon Prime Day, which was tons of fun, and I've been reviewing Sanabul equipment right along the lines because they are some of the most popular gloves on the market, and I get requested for Sanabul stuff every single day. So I wanted to basically do the boxing gloves that I had plus the MMA sparring glove counterpart and basically spread them apart for each review for your viewing pleasure. So with that said, I hope you've been enjoying the mini marathon. I think it's been going on. By the time I post this, if I'm doing the math correctly, at least 2 or 3 videos will be coming out. But don't worry, after this mini marathon's over, I'll be going right back to other gloves, mixing up the market a bit. I just never got the opportunity to do stuff like this because I've never been able to literally just tally off all of one product in one shot until now. I don't think I've owned so many things. Maybe Hit and Move. I'm close to about the same amount of products by Hit and Move as I am Sanabul. But Sanabul, like I said, super popular brand. Everyone uses it. Wanted to get it right out there. And these are the Core Series, guys. And the Core Series, like the boxing gloves, are the intermediate version of their MMA sparring gloves. And basically, these gloves are Sanabul's way of saying you're going to notice the difference between these and the beginner stuff that you might have got from us or somewhere else. That way it will tell you, I call intermediate gloves the needle mover glove. Exactly what type of glove that you're going to want when you get to the professional level. You want a glove that's bigger, wider, smaller, more compact? Do you want a puncher's glove, a pillow glove, maybe a mixture of the two? You never know. And that's the cool thing about intermediate level stuff, and that's what they're saying with the Core Series. And just like everything else that Sanabul sells, they sell them all in sets. Just like they have the Gold Strike, they have the Gold Strike shin guards, headgear, they have Gold Strike different clothes. They also have the same thing for the Battle Forge, and they have the same thing obviously for the Core. They have the Core Series shin guards, Core Series headgear, Core Series boxing gloves, Core Series clothes, anything you can think of, and these are the MMA sparring gloves. They also have a regular fight glove counterpart as well. But these gloves, once again, are Sanabul's intermediate level glove, and they say that you're supposed to notice the difference between these and, say, the Essentials. Now, with the boxing gloves, that was very true, but will we say the same when it comes to the MMA sparring gloves? Stay tuned and find out, because I'm not going to give it away till the end. Maybe. I usually blab. You'll find out. I put timestamps. You'll skip through. I see the analytics. You guys skip through all the timestamps. You're welcome. But anyway, let's go into the exact model that I have today. Today, I got them in the L/XL size, and they come in 4 different colors. They come in black and silver. They also come in like a metallic blue and silver. They also come in black and red, and then I believe red and silver are the colors that they come in. So there are 4 different colors that you can get, just like the boxing gloves. And then on top of it, you can get them in 2 different sizes, just like every other MMA sparring glove that Sanabul does, except for the Gold Strikes to come in 4 different sizes. These come in 2, small/medium, L/XL, and that's what I have here is the large/extra large, and they fit my hands just fine. The way I tell people to size those, if you think you have small hands, go with a small/medium. If you think small/medium. If you don't, if you have big hands, go with a large/extra large. I have reasonably sizable hands, and these fit just fine. So with that said, those are the 2 sizes you can get. You got 4 different colors you can pick from, which I think is pretty good when it comes to a color and size model like this. So I really like that. Now, when it comes to the look of the glove, like I said, we can talk about the back of the glove virtually being exactly just like the boxing glove that we had going on there. Only thing is now that we have a black, completely black outer shell going on here, and then you have silver paint going across, and you have some nice, cool sweeping lines, giving it that futuristic, like Star Wars look to it for me. Then you have the Sanabul, which is outlined in black and silver there, which is pretty cool. And those stripes go all the way up to the top. And sweeping lines, I did some type of Google search to see why people catch that. It's just the way that the pattern follows. Our eyes naturally want to follow a line to the end or something like that, which I think is kind of cool. And then when we go ahead to the palm area, you can see that it's all a solid black color. All the piping is black. The thumb is black. And then when we come down to the wrist bar, you can also see that we have more silver lines, sweeping lines going throughout there. And then when we come down to the bottom, you can see it says core, and you got a Sanabul logo going in right there, also in a black outline, whereas this is actually silver lettering, which is pretty cool. The interior lining is also black, and all the Velcro is black as well. Very basic, but yet not basic looking glove, and I like how that looks. But you can see here, you got all the black Velcro patches going throughout there. You have that counterpart on the back. And then you have one tag on the inside that says the size right there, L/XL right there. And on the other side, if I were a betting man, no, it doesn't say anything. The other one said made in Pakistan. So I guess I'm not a betting man today. Either that or these aren't made in Pakistan and they don't want you to know. They're made in Pakistan. But anyway, that's besides the point. Now, when we go into the build of the glove, you can talk about anything by Sanabul is made out of an entire engineered leather. And basically, the reason why they do that is they don't use any type of animal products. Like for the Funk series, they have cloth, and they've had grape and cactus leather gloves out there, and they have some different types of engineered leather. In this case, it's a cheaper engineered leather, aka a vinyl. Imagine going to Lowe's and basically pulling out those big vinyl like flooring rolls. That's basically what you have on the back of the glove here. It's basically plastic cloth is the way that I like to think about it in a lot of ways. There are tons of different versions of it, but that's basically what we got here. It's to replicate leather in a lot of ways. And it is a nice stretchy vinyl on the outside that works very good, and you want it to be stretchy. That way when you're, say, grappling or when you're punching stuff, you know, people don't know when you do that, your material catches and twists and turns, scrapes, all those fun things. And basically what's happening there, guys, is you don't want it to rip. So that's why you want the vinyl just like this to have a pretty thick hide to it on the outside, and so it stretches very good. The thicker the material is on the padding itself, actually the softer the padding usually gets, because it's not completely constrict the padding and keep it in a smush state at all times. And on top of it, there's more stitching for the material to catch onto, which is always good. So that's pretty cool. So the outer shell is made out of the entire material that I just mentioned, the engineered leather. And then we come to the padding. It's like everything else that Sanabul has had so far, and that is the DuraSoft padding, aka IMF Tech foam, or you could even call it Ringside foam, because Ringside made it very famous. It's basically one solid mold piece that they inject gel into it, and it makes impact not as hard when you punch. It mitigates impact, which is always good. So it has nice knuckle protection, and this padding is definitely very, very soft. I do like that. It's as soft as the Essential gel that you got going on there, so I do like that quite a bit. It does feel very good on the knuckles there. Very soft padding. Then on the back here, we have a EVA foam piece, which is basically like the same type of material that they use for like yoga mats, wrestling mats. What that does is that actually cradles around the back of your hand and wrist, hugging it and also keeping a nice layer of protection over the back of your wrist. Now, people don't know this a whole lot, but actually your bones don't break outwards, they break upwards like that. So what that compression does, the back bar there, stops the bones from going up. It keeps the natural pressure there. And just like every other MMA sparring glove that Sanabul has, it has a nice door hinge motion here, which is always good because it basically allows you to open and close much easier, to get solid grips, to open and close for strikes a lot easier. So overall, I think every MMA sparring glove should have that door hinge knuckle system. I think it just works better. And that's what every MMA sparring glove that Sanabul has uses, which is very good. When we come to the fingers, like other MMA sparring gloves by Sanabul, they are individually cut. They have individual slits in between, basically allowing you freedom of mobility, which is always good. But they also have a bar at the bottom that allows you to keep everything as one solid unit as well. That way your fingers don't slip out the bottom, they don't go too far forward, it keeps everything in one place. So it's basically a grip bar, which is also good. The interior lining is a basic poly cotton, which feels good. It's not like the tri-cot material that some other MMA sparring gloves use. It's a nice poly cotton. It feels very similar to like a dry fit shirt in a lot of ways. I always call it a dry fit pillow. The thumb loop is also the same as the other ones. It has a nice good bow to it, but also tucks to your thumb very easily. Now when we come to the wrist strap, you have a very long wrist strap like the other MMA sparring gloves by Sanabul, and like the other ones, it's also not very bulky at all, and your hand fits in very good. They also have the same Y strap that you have with every other glove that Sanabul that I've reviewed so far, and if you don't like that Y strap, if your hands are just too big, you can actually cut that corner there and put your hands in very easily. But honestly, for me, for having big hands, it slides in perfect. And what I like about this glove is that these actually do kind of cover my door knocking knuckles more than some other gloves have in the past, right? And sometimes the door knocking knuckles can slip and cut and scrape your sparring partner, and you never want that to happen. The other thing that I didn't really mention on accident, sorry about that, is that you have 3 different pieces. I'll show you on this one. 3 different pieces of EVA foam on the thumb, just like the other sparring gloves by Sanabul have, and that just basically gives you an added piece of protection, and you have those little rivets there. That way they're actually flexible with your thumb because of the thumb joints themselves. Now when I strap this on tight, the wrist support is really good because of the nice thick wrist strap, and on top of it you got that wrist bar on the back to mitigate your metacarpals and tarsals from popping up and any type of wrist injury. That is never a good wrist injury. You never want a wrist injury. That's worse than knuckle problems in my opinion. But overall the padding feels very soft. I can feel through to my knuckle a little bit, but overall very nice soft padding here. Gives it a nice little pop. I love hitting bags and pads with these, and there's tons of room on the inside of the glove. The rule is you take 2 thumbs. I have 2 thumbs right here. 2 fingers, you put them in here, and then you close your hand, and if you close it comfortably, it means you can fit enough padding in there. That's per New York State Athletic Commission's regulation of MMA sparring glove, or MMA gloves rather, is you just take 2 fingers. I think that's the rule everywhere. You take 2 fingers, put it in. You can definitely fit a hand wrap on the inside of that glove just fine. So that's always good. So there's tons of room for hand wraps. The only thing is you obviously have to tuck the hand wraps underneath here, the grip bar, which I don't talk about that often, but usually I think that's just kind of implied, and that happens very easily because the vinyl is very stretchy. Overall, the glove is very comfortable, very easy to open and close. The grips are solid if you're trying to get underneath the armpits, underneath the neck, whatever it is it might be. Very easy to maneuver with these gloves. So with that said, let's go ahead and go into the bag work and sparring view, and then we'll come back with my final thoughts. Bag work with the Core Series MMA sparring gloves feels very good. It feels just like the Essentials and the Funk Strike, in that they're very protective of your wrist, your knuckles, overall good for your hands. They maybe feel slightly bigger than the Essentials, but at the end of the day, there is not much of a difference of these gloves and the Essentials on the bags. I like that I can whale into this and get really good grips when it comes to my wrestling, and overall, they're great not only for bags and pads, but to spar with as well. Alright, so when it comes to the look of the glove, they definitely have that nice, cool, futuristic look. You got really good grips going on, just like the other MMA sparring gloves by Sanabul in this case. You get really good grips as far as your gable grips, S grips, underhooks, under the neck. Things like Darce chokes and stuff are very easy to get. They're a very grappling friendly glove. They also look cool in that they have that classic black design with the gunmetal gray on the side. So if you're looking for a simplistic yet cool sweeping line, kind of like a classic fancy car, this glove is definitely a nice glove for you. So overall, I really like the look of the Core Series, but I think you are paying $5 extra for the look. Alright folks, so my final verdict for the Sanabul Core Series MMA sparring gloves. Do I notice that these are like the intermediate version like I did with the boxing glove compared to the Essential? In short, no. In my opinion, I felt like for most of the MMA sparring gloves that I reviewed by Sanabul, it just kind of felt like I was making reviews of carbon copies of this glove. The only difference I can really say about the Core is that it is slightly taller and maybe wider than the Essential, but does that make really the world of difference? No, not honestly. There are some minute differences, like the padding, I'd say, in the Core Series is possibly a little bit softer, which can't always be a good or bad thing for the glove. It's just slightly softer, and the same thing for the back of the hand here. The interior lining feels exactly the same. The thumb feels exactly the same. The way you close your fist feels exactly the same. It just feels like the exact same glove as the Essential. Only thing is you're just paying about $6, $5 more for the core series. So if you want a glove that is slightly taller, I will say that it does cover your door knocking knuckles a little bit more than those. But is it worth the $5 difference? It's kind of up to you. For me, it's kind of like you're paying more for the design for this, you know, that have the cooler look to it, and like they also have the metallic look to it as well. But that's basically what you got going on here. So in short, no, I don't really notice that much of a difference between the Essential and the Core series, but we can still talk about the highlights of the glove itself. Talking about the Core series having super easy maintenance, like every other Sanabul glove except for the Funk Strike that I noticed, but just like the Essential, super easy to clean, and it's very good for the beginner to intermediate market, especially for people that just come home and leave their stuff in their bag instead of taking it out, letting it air out. That's basically how it works. Now for me, super easy to clean. Just take it down with a disinfecting wipe and you're all good with both gloves right there, and you're done. They're nice and clean, and the vinyl will stay very nice and fresh. Same thing for the interior lining. If you just wipe it down, it works very easy that way. So that's really what I like about these gloves. The maintenance on anything by Sanabul, because it is all man-made material, very easy to maintain and keep up with, which is always a good sign. Now, the next thing that I like about the glove is the knuckle support. Now, I will say the padding is, like I said, slightly softer, but the knuckle support and the wrist support in this glove is just like the Essential in that it works very, very well. It is so good, and it protects you very good on the back of your hand, the back of your wrist. Make sure that the shock is mitigated right upon impact and does not go down so far. Now, the one thing I do notice about this glove too is that not only does it maintain its shape very well, but it basically stays broken in the same way it came out of the box. It doesn't break in anymore. It doesn't really break apart too much. I've seen my teammates switch from like Battle Forge to the Core series, and they've liked these Core series more. And like I said, I think the only reason why they didn't get the Essentials again, because it has that stigma of like they're the beginner gloves compared to the intermediate gloves. They're supposed to be better. But in this case, I think that's more of a placebo with this glove. The interior lining is very soft on the back of your hands, and there is plenty of room for you to wrap your hands up big, but also it's virtually the same as the Essential in that you're able to wrap your hands up just fine in those as well. So in general, not to keep the final thoughts so short, but they're virtually the same complaints that I would have with the Essential and the same compliments I would have with the Essential, because for me, it's virtually the same glove, only it's like an inch taller, which really isn't that big of a difference. So because of that, because I have to pay basically $5 more for the same glove, in a lot of ways, for me, I don't see that big of a difference compared to the boxing gloves of the Essential and the Core. There's definitely big differences between those two gloves, not so much with these. I would have to go ahead and give these still, I'm going to give them a solid 9 out of 10 for the beginner to intermediate market. I still think pros would use these just as much as the Essentials, but like I said, $30 versus $35, it's kind of up to you to choose. I think 9 out of 10, definitely an A tier. They are a great glove for me, if not B tier, good glove. I would say great glove because they work the same as the Essentials. They're great for sparring, great for bag work, great for pads, they're great for grappling, and overall a really good glove. But I'm just slightly disappointed because really you're paying $5 more for the design of the glove. I did not notice that much of a difference even in the vinyl from this glove to the other glove. So that's the only thing. Definitely when it came to the boxing glove, the design was so much different from the Essential boxing glove compared to the Core boxing glove. But when it comes to the MMA sparring glove, trust me when I say it, for me personally, it is the same exact glove as the Essential, only $5 more expensive and maybe an inch taller. But besides that, still a great functioning glove, and I think you would actually really enjoy using these gloves. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this review. This one was short and sweet because it's virtually the same review that I've done twice with the other Sanabul sparring gloves out there. They feel just like the Funk Strike. They feel just like the Essential. I think really the only one that's different is the Battle Forge, because it just has a completely different design from these. In some ways, I won't even say completely different, but it is a different design. But at the end of the day, still a solid pair of MMA sparring gloves for $35. You can't go wrong with that. Plus, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free shipping on top of it. But with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, comment below if you thought I missed anything or if you have any questions. I always love to answer your questions, and ask me what I should review next. I hope you've enjoyed the Sanabul mini marathon so far. A couple more videos to go yet, and then we'll move on to some new blood that I've been ready to go with lately. Sorry, I've been stuttering a little bit. Also, 8.75 thousand subscribers already. That is nutty to me. Can't believe that we got that far. And at the end of the day, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. There are a couple little small pokes of your finger on your phone or clicks of your mouse on your computer, but it goes a long way to help the channel. Thank you so much for watching The Combat Corporation, your source of combat sports. I've been your host, Al the Postmaster Morrow, and as always, I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day, everybody.